Sreepada Sri Vallabha Charitamrutam, Chapter 11. The episode of Subbaya Shreshti, Chintamani and Bilva Mangala. Worship of Datta results in adoration of all deities. Birth of Sreepada, an extraordinary lustrous phenomenon. Next day, Sri Subbaya Shreshti narrated like this. Lord Sri Datta is an embodiment of all deities. By worshipping Datta, one can obtain the results of worshipping all deities. Sri Datta is inside all deities. Mother Sumati used to worship Paramashiva in the essential nature of Anasuya during the time of Shrani Pradosha. Therefore, the intrinsic aspects of Shiva in Lord Datta reflected in the real nature of Anasuya. They took birth as Sreepada in the womb of Mother Sumati, who was on an equal plane as Mother Anasuya. It was a wonderful yogic exercise. Sreepada was not born out of the physical union of parents. Yogic lights emerged from the eyes of Appalaraja Sharma and Mother Sumati, who were in deep meditation. These lights combined and stayed in the womb of Mother Sumati. After the completion of 9 months, a brilliant form of light was delivered by Mother Sumati. By nature, Sreepada was a personification of light. He was exhibiting some strange powers from him in the 3rd year. After Sreepada, 3 sisters, Sri Vidyadhari, Radha and Sureka were born. On the day Sri Vidyadhari was born, a great scholar, Maladi Ramakrishna Avadani, who was a distant relative of Sri Bapannarya, came to their house. He had a son by name Chandrasekhar. Mahalakshmi was born in the household of Gandikota family. All the relations unanimously opined that it would be better if she becomes the daughter-in-law of Maladi family. Sreepada also said that it would be better if his sister Sri Vidyadhari was given in marriage to Chandrasekhar. Intentions of Sreepada are accomplished automatically. His resolve is as firm and strong as a hard diamond. In consonance with his words, the marriage of Sri Vidyadhari and Chandrasekhara Avadhani was celebrated on a grand scale in Pitakapuram afterwards. Another sister, Radha, was given in marriage to Vishwanatha Mallikarjuna Avadhani of Vijayawada, and the 3rd sister, Sureka, was married to Sri Tadepalli Dattatreya Avadhani of Mangalagiri. My dear Shankara, the Leelas of Sreepada are unimaginable. There is a village called Tatankapur or Tanuku in Godavari region. There is a very pious family in that village which performed many great sacrifices like Vajayapeya and Poundarika sacrifices. The name of that family is Vajayapeya Jula. There are close connections between Maladi family of Pitakapuram and Vajayapeya Jula family of Tanaku. However, the family of Vajayapeya Jula has faith in the theory of Idam Brahmyam, Idam Kshatram, that is, both Brahmanic culture and valor of Kshatriyas. They belong to the lineage of Parasara comprising of 3 sages, Vashishta, Shakti and Parasara. They follow Rigveda. Maladi family follows Yajurveda. In the state of Karnataka, there were no suitable teachers to teach Rigveda to youngsters studying it. In that connection, when invited, Sri Vajayapeya Jula Mayan Nacharyalu from Tanaku migrated to Hoysala in Karnataka Desa. From then, they were called as Hoysala Brahmins. They adopted the professions of Brahmins and Kshatriyas with equal ease. They underwent many difficulties to save Sanatana Dharma. Mayan Acharyalu had 2 sons. One was Madhava Acharya and the other one was Sayanacharya. Both of them were scholars of very high caliber. Sri Sayanacharya wrote commentaries on Vedas. Sri Madhavacharya undertook intense penance for the grace of Sri Lakshmi. When Sri Mahalakshmi appeared, he requested for the grant of extraordinary grace of Sri Lakshmi. Then Sri Devi told him, "My dear child, it is not possible for you in this present birth." He immediately announced, "Mother, I am taking to renunciation." "Then it is a second birth for me, is it not?" Sri Devi bestowed him with abundant grace. With his touch, any baser metal used to turn into gold. He is Sri Vidyaranya Maharshi. Sripada blessed him. He is the one who will be born in the third generation of the lineage of ascetics as Sri Krishna Saraswati. When Sripada incarnates as Nrisimha Saraswati in future, Sri Krishna Saraswati will be his guru for initiating him into the ascetic order. As his desire for enjoyment did not abate, he would be born in the future centuries in the family of Sayanacharya with the name of Govinda Dikshitalu. He would become the chief minister to the rulers of Tanjore and will be praised by all people as Rajashri, that is, a saint king. All this was a forecast about the future. This is a course of destiny decided personally by Sripada. His resolve will always become true. Therefore, this forecast about the future will certainly take place. When many deities are worshipped, the life force of Datta would reflect in those deities. It will transform into a new consciousness and fulfill the desires of spiritual seekers. If Lord Datta is worshipped, he decides to what extent a particular task is to be performed by the potency of any particular deity and protects the devotee. The devotee is protected as an eyelid that protects the eye. Dhruva undertook a rigorous penance. Sri Mahavishnu granted him his boundless and infinite paternal affection. Lord Sri Datta is a supreme phenomenon. He is the base and beyond both of form and formless natures. That is the ultimate real nature. That is the predominant nature, and that is an essential nature which has no beginning or end. The true nature of Datta can be realized only through experience, but it is utterly futile to contemplate about it with logical intellect. The secret of the incarnation of Sripada Sri Vallabha is its all-round competence to get a thing done or not done or done in a different way. The essential nature of Sripada. Sripada, who announced that he was himself Dattatreya, was worshipping Kalagni Shamna Datta in his house. Bapan Narya, who was worried about this matter, once asked Sripada, "My boy Sripada, are you Datta or a worshipper of Datta?" Then he replied, "I am becoming Datta when I say I am Datta. When I say I am a worshipper of Datta, I am becoming a worshipper of Datta. When I am Sripada Sri Vallabha, I am becoming Sripada Sri Vallabha. Whatever I wish, it will happen. I am becoming that one in the way I am thinking. This is my nature." All this was very confusing to the Tata. Then Sripada said, "Tata, both of us are one. In the ensuing birth, I am going to incarnate with a body which closely resembles you. You have a very strong desire to enter the ascetic order. It is not my result that you should be a monk in this life or in the next life. I want to incarnate with a body exactly resembling you in all respects and destroy all your karmic shackles and influences." Saying so, he touched the center point of eyebrows of his grandfather gently. That is the place of focal consciousness. He saw for some seconds Babaji, who was in the state of undisturbed trance of penance in Himalayas. After some time, he saw him taking bath in the confluence of Triveni in the great pilgrimage center, Prayaga. He saw the form of Sripada afterwards. That image merged with the self-existent Datta in the Kukuteshwara temple. An Avaduta came out of it. He saw that his daughter, Akanda Lakshmi Saubhagyavati, Sumati Maharani, was giving alms to that Avaduta. He again saw that the Avaduta took the shape of Sripada Srivallabha and lying in the lap of Sumati Maharani. Again, he witnessed that the new youth came out of her lap and changed into youth of 16 years. That new youth saw him with profound looks and took a form exactly resembling him. However, that person was appearing like an ascetic. He was walking majestically with his disciples after taking bath in the confluence of two sacred rivers. That ascetic glanced towards him and spoke, "Oh, you appear to be discussing yourself as to who I am. I am called Rusima Saraswati. This is Gandharvapura." Within minutes after speaking these words, he threw his upper garment into the river. He sat on it and reached Srishaila. Great people, great yogis in Kadalivana prostrated before him. All of them prayed, "Mahaprabhu, we are all doing penance for so many hundreds of years for your advent. Kindly bless us." After undertaking penance for many years, he appeared as an aged person with only loincloth. Sending his extremely sharp looks towards Sri Bapanarya, he told that he is called Swami Samarth. After some time, he relinquished the body. He transferred his life force to a banyan tree and merged his divine soul into the Mallikarjuna Shivalinga at Srishaila. From that highly powerful Shivalinga, a profound thundering voice was thus heard. "Bapanarya, you are indeed fortunate. I am unobtainable, imperceptible to speech and mind, infinite, total embodiment of wisdom and without beginning or end. By your power of Kriya Yoga, you have brought me from the solar region through Shakti Pata and attracted into this Jyotirlinga. 18,000 celestials always worship me in the form of this Jyotirlinga. Those holy celestials assist the people who adore this linga in their material and spiritual progress. A personification of the Trinity, I am blessing you with my forms of Sripada Srivallabha, Narasimha Saraswati and Swami Samartha. My child Shankara, but the Leelas of Sri Guru are unimaginable." After some time, Sri Bapanarya became his normal self. He saw facing him Sripada, a boy aged 3 years with an innocent face, smiling sweetly. This strange experience gave him heavenly sweetness. He hugged Sripada to his breast. For some time, he was in a state of divine ecstasy. He returned to a normal state from that supernatural experience and started the fire ritual. The way in which he performed the fire ritual looked amazing. Generally, fire is generated by using sticks of an Audambara tree and Jammi tree. But Sri Bapanarya chant Vedic mantras after placing the holy samidas, that is, twigs using during homas, in the fire altar. Immediately, fire is generated and flames shot up. Sri Appalaraja Sharma also did like that. Worship of fire was there in their family. They got down into the burning altar of fire and offered oblations. They used to do this on special sacred days. There were no harm for their body or clothes in this kind of fire worship. This is a wonder of wonders. Sri Sripada's capacity to make things happen or not happen. On that day, during the fire ordeal, fire did not generate in spite of Sri Bapanarya chanting Vedic mantras many times. Seeing the difficult condition of his grandfather, Sripada was smiling sportively. Grandfather was sweating profusely. Then Sripada turned towards the fire oven and said, "You, Agni Deva, I am commanding you. Don't create obstruction to the divine work of Datta." Immediately, fire ignited and flames were rising. Sri Sripada took some water from the water pot of his Datta and poured it into the fire. Instead of getting extinguished, the fire began to burn very brightly. Seeing this, grandfather was much more wonderstruck. Sripada averred like this, "Tata, for this incarnation of mine, you Venkatappaya Shreshti and Narsimha Varma are responsible. Therefore, when you or my father receive any monetary or non-monetary assistance from Venkatappaya Shreshti or Narsimha Varma, it cannot be counted as donation. Non-acceptance of such an offer also amounts to an offense against God. Such an assistance has to be regarded as grace of the Almighty. My mother, Sumati Maharani, who gave me birth, has to be considered as a female child not only of Maladi family but also to Sri Venkatappaya Shreshti and Sri Vatsavai families. This is my edict. When Sreepada was declaring like this, Appala Raja Sharma and Sumati Maharani were there only. By chance, Venkatappaya Shreshti and Narasimha Varma were also there. Sreepada said, "Without my will, even a great hermit like Sri Bapannarya cannot generate fire. Fire god will show his power when my father also gets into the fireplace. If there were to be a change in my intention, Venkatappaya Shreshti turns into a very poor person. Narasimha Varma, who is the owner of many acres of land, become shelterless. All of you remain in your positions following my intention only. I can make a beggar as a king and I can change a king into a beggar also. I will grant whatever my devotee requests. However, I will examine before granting whether that devotee can retain so much superior power and whether he will use his capacity and power for the welfare of the world or not. Whenever I find it necessary, I will turn soil into sky and sky into soil also." In Kruta Yuga, when Bapannarya was living as Lavada Maharshi, he had a disciple named Mangala Maharshi. When Mangala Maharshi was cutting sacred grass, his hand was wounded. Blood flowed. That blood coagulated and turned into fragment holy ash. He was proud in his mind that he achieved such a great accomplishment. Then Paramashiva appeared and moved his hand playfully. Great quantity of holy ash showered as if mountain boulders from Himalayas were falling apart. Paramashiva said, "In Treta Yuga, Bharadwaja will perform Savitru Kataka Chayana in Pitakapuram. I showed you a fraction of the holy ash that accumulates in that great sacrifice." Then the pride of Mangala Maharshi was removed. All the listeners were dumbfounded and were hearing all that Sreepada was saying. Sreepada said, "As a result of the punya earned in many births, one steps into this Pitakapuram Agraharam. It is of unspeakable significance that you are with me during the period of my incarnation. To experience my power, first you must become a rigorous spiritual seeker. Then only you will experience my power, compassion, affection, protection and redemption from sin. My padukas will be installed in the house of Sri Bapannarya, which is my birthplace. I will drink milk in the morning in Pitakapuram in the lap of my mother Sumati. In the afternoon, Mother Sumati will feed me with little lumps of food. During night time, I eat halwa from the lap of Mother Sumati. I will remain in Gandharvapura in the form of Nrsimha Saraswati just as I am in Pitakapuram. I will seek Bhiksha in Gandharvapura exactly during midday. These will be clearly seen by those who have the sight of the internal eye. Great personages, great yogis, and people of all countries come to my darbar to have my darshan like rows of ants. They dance in ecstasy, chanting Datta Digambara Sripada Vallabha Digambara Nrsimha Saraswati Datta Digambara. The moment I give permission, all due tasks will be done at once. A great samsthan will be formed in my name. As my influence enhances, it will become difficult to purchase even a small patch of land as small as the foot of a cow. If necessary, I throw the people whom I consider as my own in Pitakapuram by dragging them with their hair. Without my will, one cannot come to my samsthan in Pitakapuram, however rich he might be or however great yogi he might be. This is confirmed and true. Be happy by realizing my real nature. This time will not come again. All powers of deities that are in the knowledge of man are within me. If anyone gives dakshina to me, I will multiply it hundredfold and grant him when the time comes. Money has to be earned without violating dharma. Desires can be satisfied without violating dharma. By doing righteous acts, moha is destroyed. After moha is destroyed, liberation is achieved. Shankara Bhatt, do you hear the nectar-like words of Sreepada? After this sacred teaching, Narasimhavarma took Sreepada in his horse carriage the next day to see his fields. He had many acres of agricultural lands. Many varieties of crops were grown in those fields, but cucumber plants were rarely flowering. After flowering, the tender vegetable was drying up. Even if the tender vegetables become big, they were bitter and not fit for cooking. Narasimhavarma submitted this matter to Sreepada. Sreepada became placid-faced and said, "All the members of our house like cucumber curry made with dal. As the people in my house like it, I too like it." Nevertheless, an aspirant of Datta undertook penance in this land in old times. "This holy earth is yearning for the touch of my feet, as I was verily Datta himself. It is expressing its eagerness to you in its language in this manner. When this earth receives my touch, there will be change in the nature of this mother earth. Then this mother will give us very tasty cucumbers. Tata, you sent the cucumbers grown here to our house without any fear. I will eat that preparation of curry along with the members of that household. My child, Shankara Bhatt, wonder of wonders, from that day onwards, there was an abundant crop of cucumbers in that field. They were also having very good taste." Sreepada got down from the horse carriage along with Narasimhavarma and roamed in the fields for some time. In the meanwhile, some tribal young men and women came there. All of them prostrated before Sreepada. At that time, a divine illuminating halo formed around the divine countenance of Sreepada. Sreepada said, "Tata, all these tribals belong to my incarnation of Narasimha. These people regard Mahalakshmi as their sister and worship her. You are a devotee of Narasimha Swami. If you take their help, you may obtain the darshan of Lord Narasimha." Narasimhavarma thought that Sreepada spoke like that playfully to tease him. He said like that, "You Chenchu people, that is, forest tribals, have you seen Nrsimhadeva? Can you tell about his whereabouts?" For that they replied, "What is great about it? A mad person with a lion's head and a human body is roaming in these forests. He is infatuated with our sister Chenchu Lakshmi. Our girl also likes him. We married them both. If you want, we will bring Chenchu Lakshmi and Nrsimha also and place them before you." After speaking like this, those Chenchu youths ran away quickly. Narasimhavarma was seeing all this with wonder. Then he observed that a young man and a young woman were coming across their fields. Fortunately, I was also going that way. Sreepada beckoned me to come near him. When I approached him, Sreepada told me, "Subbaya Shreshti, whom do you think are those people coming from the distance?" "They are Bilva Mangala and Chintamani. Collect some tree twigs. We will make fire with them. We can see the farce." Narasimha and me started perspiring profusely. Those visitors were Bilva Mangala and Chintamani. There was no doubt. They visited Sri Krishna in the pilgrim center, Guruvayur. Fortunately, they visited afterwards a great yogini, Kururamma. She blessed them involuntarily that they get the darshan of Sreepada Sri Vallabha. Under the influence of her blessing, the seeds of devotion and detachment sprouted in them. They visited Sri Nrisimha in Mangalagiri, and from there they were coming to Pitakapuram to have the darshan of Sri Sreepada. On account of the efficiency of the blessing of that Senatarian great lady who was a great yogini, they obtained the darshan of Sri Sripada here itself. This was a wonderful matter. Both of them prayed in Mangalagiri thus: if the blessing of great yogini Kuru Rama were to be fructified and we receive the darshan of Sripada, who is not different from Datta, we request for your physical darshan as Sri Nrisimha Deva. When the fire of broken twigs was raging, Bilva Mangala and Chintamani felt immense agony as if their bodies were put on funeral pyre. After some time, some black shapes closely resembling them came out of the bodies and fell into the flames, bitterly crying. They were completely burnt. When the two black images were burnt down, Bilva Mangala and Chintamani regained their consciousness. By that time, the forest tribals came there with their sister Chenchulakshmi. They tied tightly the hinds of Nrisimhadeva and produced him before Sripada. Such wonderful and strange things did not take place in any yuga. In the program of Sripada's incarnation, miracles and sportive plays were countless and unimaginable. Sripada questioned like this: are you Nrisimha of bygone aeons? Is this Chenchulakshmi your wife? Are you the one who killed Hiranyakashipu and protected Prahalada? For that, Sri Nrisimha Deva replied in the affirmative twice. Chenchulakshmi and Nrisimha Deva merged in the body of Sripada in the form of brilliant light. Chintamani transformed as a great yogini. Chenchus disappeared. Bilva Mangala became a great devotee and came to be known as Bilva Mangala Maharshi. Sri Sripada announced that in the lands of Sri Narasimha Varma, where all these strange and weird incidents happened, a village by the name Chitravada would come about. Sripada is Satya Sankalpa and Siddha Sankalpa.